So for how to get started with making a portfolio, like I said, pull from your resume. So make sure you expand on all the details from your resume, especially on like really big relevant experience like senior design projects, personal research, any jobs or internships you've had. Include lots and lots of pictures and videos. Recruiters really appreciate videos and pictures. Just make sure that it's okay with your NDAs that you might have signed with any of your prior companies. And then also use examples. So we'll kind of be looking at some examples today, but there's also more examples on the career website if you want to find more. So what not to have on your portfolio, make sure that you cut down on wordiness. Like I said before, you don't want a format where it's like a book and it's going to take the recruiter over an hour to read through your portfolio. Also avoid violating your NDA, like I already touched on. This will make your company that you worked for previously very unhappy. So make sure you please check with them before sharing any pictures or videos you took at your prior internship or work experience. Don't include any blurry or uncropped photos. If you're maybe holding like a component or something, try to zoom in on the component and crop it out instead of just having like a huge background and a really tiny piece. And then also just check for spelling errors. This is something that I've had an issue with a couple times. So just make sure you read it a couple times, have someone else read it for you. Just get like a fresh pair of eyes to make sure you check all your spelling and stuff like that. So now we'll be looking at a portfolio example. This is actually my personal portfolio and it's reviewed by these companies and a few others. We'll also be doing some other live portfolio reviews of other people's portfolios. So yeah, this I kind of tailor for each company I apply to. So companies usually like it when you talk about them. They like hearing about how great they are. So make sure you try to I include their logo. I, have a little, date, everything like that just makes it easier for me to keep track of them too. Make sure you definitely are checking that you change the company's name. You will definitely make the company that you're applying to not very happy if you have another company's name. So just double check that. I have an about me page. Mine's a little bit more wordy, but it's okay. I usually don't go through the entire thing when I'm presenting. I kind of just touch on the highlights and have them reread it later. I include some of like my hobbies, some of the stuff I do outside of school. It kind of gives you more of a holistic overview of yourself. I kind of have a page every time I apply to a company of why I'm applying to them. Usually I try to pull from like their vision and mission statement and certain aspects of the company that mean something to me of like why I'm applying to them. And then I kind of talk about my relevant experience. So for the companies I've applied to, they usually say to include like 2 or 3 relevant experiences. So you'll usually bring them up in the beginning, you'll introduce them, and then you'll kind of go into more detail. The presentations I've had have been about an hour or so. You can always have like a shorter portfolio version on your website, but it's just easier to edit if you have like a full portfolio already ready to go, and then you go into your presentations. So this is just a video that I like to include. This is about our test fire from the rocket project. Like I said, recruiters really appreciate videos. So if you have any type of videos, I would definitely recommend adding them. This is some of our data. So was sure to highlight our data. I bolded everything that was important, so it'd be easy for them to find. This is kind of just like the project overview. I'm listing my different positions. I also try to go in order of timeline. So the most relevant or recent experience I put at the top and kind of go in chronological order from there. This is just more information on like system schematics. Recruiters and the people interviewing you, they really appreciate like hard data. So if you can really put those like facts and figures in there, they really appreciate that. This is just another video of some of our testing. And these are our previous static test fires, so I was kind of trying to show like how we've grown as a project. This is really useful if you've been on an internship or a project for a long amount of time. You can kind of say how you've improved or how you've helped a team over an amount of time. It's definitely good to see for recruiters like how you've been improving and how you'd probably help them as a company. Like I said, this is like I go more into the improvements, so it's definitely good to write all of that out. And again, I'm a little bit wordier on this one because I did have a lot of time in my presentation. So just be sure you're checking like with the recruiter before your presentation of like how much allotted time you'll have to present. And then this is I go into my internship. I couldn't take a lot of pictures because I did have an NDA, so I was able to find some stuff on the internet that was just similar to what I'd worked on. But if you do have an NDA, you most likely won't be able to share many of the pictures you've taken with the company. Yeah, and then these are just some of my class projects. For those of you who've taken 106, this probably looks pretty familiar. Also just like include any of like your relevant coursework. If you've gotten any type of like cool projects out of it, or you've gotten any type of certificates, definitely include that in your presentation. And then, yeah, I just have like a little thank you slide. And then make sure you leave time at the end for any type of questions they might have too. Yeah. I was also going to review these portfolios. Is everyone here who submitted these? Okay, cool. Does anyone have an issue with their portfolios being reviewed? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna start with Timothy. Sorry, what was that? Yes.
Mine's a little bit.
That's fine, yeah. Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, website is good too. Website or portfolio are great. Yeah, either one. Mine's technically like it's a published portfolio, but yeah. Okay, awesome. So yeah, definitely like some good pictures. I like that your name's on the top. I like that it's very interactive. Oh, congrats on the masters. Yeah, no, it's very easy to navigate. I like that you've highlighted a lot of your different experience. Everything's like very like interactive, which is great. Everything's like hyperlinked. It's super easy for the recruiters to find information. Okay, yeah, no, this is really great for your relevant experience. So you really go into detail. Do you currently have a portfolio that you've made or no?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely say like you could pull from the information on your website and you could definitely link this to your portfolio while you're presenting. But yeah, it would definitely be pretty easy for you to make a portfolio just based on this information. But yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I like all the hyperlinks and stuff. And I'll go into Franco. Very cool. Yeah, this is really nice how it's just listed. I think it's chronological order. I'm not sure. Is Franco here? No. Okay.
Yeah, it's chronological order. I did it in like one day, so it's
There
not a
could be
really
some
good
more like
website.
information about this project. Just clicking on it, I'm not able to get a ton of information from it. So just make sure that you're not being like too vague, especially like during a presentation because they will ask more questions. So yeah, I would just recommend for something like this just to add some more information on what these projects are. But yeah, I like that it's hyperlinked again. That's really easy to navigate. And then Angelina here. I'll just go over it. Okay. This one, the only issues I have with it is that it is formatted like a resume, so I would recommend breaking this apart more. This is just a lot of information for one slide. It's kind of hard to focus on anything. So it's a great kind of like expanded resume, but I would definitely recommend separating this a little bit more and having less information all on like one or two slides. Yeah, the pictures are really nice. I like the data. But yeah, I would just recommend like separating this into more of like a slide format than a resume format. And Joe, is Joe here? No. Did not go to him. Maybe I have linked the wrong one. Okay. Well, I'll try to pull that up in my drive in a little bit.